Can you be obese and healthy? Seems like every couple months, Cosmopolitan or some inferior magazine program releases a document saying that you can be obese and healthy and how being obese actually is healthy nowadays. Well, that's incorrect. And while you can be healthy and be obese, it's not something you're going to want to aim for. And saying that is a terrible way and terrible advice to give to the average person in the US and around the world. Obesity is going up pretty much worldwide. Mexico used to not be obese at all. Now it's the second most obese country on the planet. Next to the United States, places like Britain, China, India are becoming fatter. Now, is it just because people are promoting and saying that being obese is healthy? No, but it has something to do with it. And that's where this video lies in. And the reason I'm making it is because telling people that being obese is healthy is not only terrible advice, it's only going to do more damage. It's kind of like telling an alcoholic that alcohol is pretty good for you. Is that true? No. The fact that some people like to promote it as it is just terrible advice. And as a trainer and as a nutritionist, the goal is to help people and be honest and real with people, not to be sitting here and degrading people who are obese or overweight. It's to help people live a longer, healthier, happier life. Being obese will not do that for you. It also promotes victimhood. Like if you're obese, you're a victim. You are not. If you are a grown adult and you can make your own decision and you are obese, then you have chosen to be obese. And that's okay, because you can also choose to do something about it. But if you choose not to, and you just want to be there and victimized about it, that's your own fault. And nobody's there to stop you. However, if you are a young kid, you can't make your own decisions, you can't go out and buy your own food, you can't really do your own exercise thing or, really have control over your life yet, and you are obese because of your family's lifestyle, that's not your fault. At that case, you don't have much of a choice. And that's unfortunate. And hopefully when you do get a choice, you make the right one and you try to live a healthier, happier lifestyle. Not really talking to those people. So now let's get to the facts. So being obese, technically being obese is when you have a BMI of over 30. Now, BMI is a flawed metric nonetheless. If you look at some of the greatest athletes in the world, their BMIs are going to be sometimes over 30, sometimes higher. But that is due to the fact that one, they have a genetic propensity to add a lot of muscle. Two, like I mentioned before, they're genetic freaks. They're either very tall, sometimes they're average height, but like I mentioned before, lots of muscle, lots of water. Their weight and height isn't a good enough metric to tell me if they're healthy. And three, just because they are an athlete doesn't mean they're healthy. So while I mentioned that before, they can be healthy, but if you're a genetic freak athlete and you're performing in the NFL, NBA, MLB, or whatever the case may be, they are likely taking some type of substance to assist their goals. So looking at them as they are the pinnacle of health, which they are not, is a really, really bad idea. And it's a terrible comparison for you, the average person, or for me, the average person. You could also look at somebody like bodybuilders, who we use a scale metric called FFMI, fat-free mass index, which once you start going past like 26, you're genetically enhanced or you're taking steroids. Sometimes both, and their FMMI can go really, really high. It's a little bit better than a BMI metric, especially nowadays, but still nothing is perfect. So while an NFL player might have something like a 31 or a 30 BMI, if you look at their blood work, they'll probably be mostly healthy. They have a lot of lean muscle mass, probably too little of body fat for some of them. Maybe some of them have more, like offensive linemen and things like that. But for the most part, those people are generally healthy. So that person might have a 31 BMI, but this person over here, who is just overweight, very little muscle mass in all honesty, bad nutrition, they're both 31 BMIs. Does that mean they're both the same equal health-wise? Absolutely not. You could probably just tell that by looking at them. They're gonna have very different blood markers. They're obviously very different people. Neither is perfectly healthy, but what does perfectly healthy really mean? But either way, you can see that if you just look at BMI, completely different people, so different that they look like different species. So just because someone has a high BMI doesn't mean that they're inherently unhealthy. However, if you do have a higher BMI, it's more likely that you are unhealthy. And so if you're obese, you have a high BMI, likely have bad blood work. You likely don't even enjoy how you look, how you feel, which plays a big role in health. If it's not physiological, it's psychological, which is a major factor for health people neglect. So all in all, it's hard to have a good quality of life being obese. You're more at risk for many, many different diseases. Your risk for cancer goes up. Your risk for type 2 diabetes goes up. Alzheimer's goes up. You likely are having a problem when it comes to mental health and the psychology around food and psychology around your behaviors that is leading to your obesity. So being obese, promoting obese is not healthy. The fact that they promote these things is terrible. One of the reasons I made this video is to show you and tell you how it is not healthy to go ahead and be obese. I want to leave with one thing on a positive note, because I don't want to degrade anyone who might be watching this video and is obese, is that if you are obese, it is fixable. You are not a victim of your genetics. Genetics do not tell you to be, 400 pounds or 100, 200 pounds overweight. Genetics might give you an extra 10, 20 pounds compared to another person who has a little bit better genetics, but 10, 20 pounds does not necessarily mean that you're super unhealthy. That is a very, very livable amount of extra fat to have in your body. The problem is lying in your behaviors, and behaviors are extremely fixable. They're challenging, especially as you get older and they become more ingrained. You are not a victim. You don't have to be a representative of what you believe your genetics to be. You can make a change in your life and live a happier, healthier lifestyle. That's one of the reasons personal trainers, nutritionists, dietitians exist, is to help you get there and work best for you. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a bodybuilder, or it doesn't mean that you are going to be super skinny. It means that you're going to be healthy, and that's what matters most. So you can be healthy no matter where you are. It might take some more mental, it might take some more physical help, but you can do it. Don't let anyone say that you're a victim of your genetics and you're just big boned, which is bullshit. Be honest with yourself and understand your behaviors and how you can change them so you can end up being a healthier person. Being obese is not healthy. Promoting being obese is healthy is actually just hurting people. It's making the world a shittier place. The fact that this is promoted is scary, but if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe for more videos from me, personal trainer and nutritionist. As always, hope these help.